Okay. Right, how's everyone doing? So, Strength Chat episode 21, and I have got a very special guest this week. I'm with Hannah Topp. How are you doing, Hannah?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm not so bad. So weirdly, I was in Australia at Victoria University with you a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But for those of you who may not know you, do you want to give a little bit of an introduction?
Yeah. So, hey guys, my name's Hannah. So I'm from Queensland originally. I did my undergrad in Melbourne at Victoria University. After finishing that, I moved over to England for 15 months to live and work. And now I'm in Sydney doing my Masters of Physiotherapy. So I don't like being in the one place for too long. And yeah.
Getting itchy feet.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. I've got the travel bug.
I remember bumping into you at the I think it was the November powerlifting competition.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I remember that.
And so how did you get into powerlifting? How did you get into strength training? Going from whatever training you did before and getting into powerlifting.
Okay, so I got into the gym in 2012 when I did my personal training course back up in Queensland. So I just dropped out of my nursing degree because I hated it and was like, let's give personal training a go. Didn't really know what I was in for. So I started doing some strength training then, had no consistency. Then I moved to Melbourne and then just, I'd go to the gym here and there, but never really had any consistency in my training.
Yep.
And it was probably about just over 2 years ago, I was working with my old personal trainer in Melbourne, and I was so sick of having the typical goal of, I want to lose weight and tone up, which is what you hear a lot of the time. A lot of females.
Everyone says that.
Everyone says that. I want to lose weight, I want to tone up. And so I was basically sick of having that goal and never really achieving it. One, because I didn't have consistency in my programming, and two, I wasn't consistent in my nutrition. So my personal trainer at the time was like, hey, just enter a competition. Like, you might not win, but it'll give you something to aim for. And he's like, you can either do bodybuilding or powerlifting. And my first thought was, I'm not doing bodybuilding because I don't have the mentality for it. I think bodybuilding is a sport where you need the passion behind it to compete in it, and I was like, there's no way I can do that with my nutrition. Maybe one day I'll step on the stage, but I was like, cool, let's go for powerlifting. Didn't even know what the sport was. Honestly, I didn't even know the difference between Olympic lifting and powerlifting back then. Sad from a sports science student, but anyway, so I did my first just local gym competition in May in 2016, and it was so much fun. Like, we had an absolute blast. It it wasn't a sanctioned meet, so we were just in the gym. Like, there's a big group of us that did it, and yeah, it was really fun. And from then I just developed this passion for powerlifting and was like, I want to go further in this sport. And so then I had that comp, and then don't really know, I just sort of fell out of the gym again for the 6 months following that. And then I was like, all right, I want to get back into another comp. So I did my second one in November in 2016. And it was probably a month before this competition that my current coach, so Jacob at JPS Health and Fitness, were looking to sponsor athletes. And I'm like, oh my God, this is perfect. Like, I really want this. So I applied for it and then worked my butt off to, try to do really well and get Jacob to be like, yes, I want to sponsor her. And then, yes, I found out just after my comp that I got the sponsorship, and then started working with Jacob online about 18 months ago when I was in England. So that's essentially how I got into it. And then, I had a really successful year last year in England competing, which was quite good.
You went to the Commonwealth Games, didn't you, as well?
Yeah, I did. So I went over to South Africa in September and competed in the Commonwealth Championships. I got bronze over there, which was pretty cool.
Nice.
And we were in squats.
I thought you would have been wearing that medal now. I thought you would have been wearing that medal now.
I don't have them here. I think they're back in Queensland.
So you mentioned a little bit about training wasn't that consistent. Before entering the powerlifting competition, had you squatted, deadlifted, benched before, or what did your training consist of beforehand, before you got a little bit of structure?
Yeah, I did squat. I did a bit of deadlifting. I did it with very bad form. But I didn't like deadlifting because it hurt my back. And I hated bench because I think a lot of girls don't like bench when they first start out, and I was really weak at it. But yeah, I did it was mainly just machine kind of stuff. I didn't do much cardio. I hated cardio.
Yeah,
And but I really enjoyed squatting and training legs. And I was, I've always been kind of strong, like growing up playing tennis and doing cheerleading. I
yeah,
had a bit of strength. Like, I was always a little bit stronger than a
yeah,
lot of people. And then so it just, I'd get into the gym. I'm like, oh, I'm going to train today, and most of the time I trained legs.
yeah,
And then so I done it before, and then when it got a bit consistent, I mean, it got a bit more consistent than what it was, but I was still only going to the gym 2 or 3 times a week, maybe 4 times at a push.
yeah. So I know sometimes when I have consults or assessments with when women come in, I say, oh, what training have you done? And they usually say, what weight training have you done? Again, like what you said, it's usually, I've usually done a little bit of machines or anything like that. But they've never really gone off and squatted and deadlifted or something like that. So did anyone show you how to do that, or did you just go in and just think? Obviously, you said you've done a little bit of a personal training course. Did you just go in and just sort of wing it a little bit?
Yeah, I was sort of winging it a bit. I didn't really know, like, I didn't know the difference between a high bar and low bar squat. So I'd always squat high bar. I never really hit depth. And like, I had my personal trainer at the time who he helped me, like fix up my technique and stuff. So I had that guidance as well, which was really good starting out in a strength sport. But and eventually, I'd watch like videos and stuff to see how I could change my technique or just improve it a bit. And
Everyone posts them on Instagram to have a look, and sometimes it is just putting it out there and like, look how much you can lift. But I think it's a training log, it's a training diary, putting stuff on Instagram and being like, right, well, this is what I've done, this is what I can get better at and improve on.
Exactly.
So obviously, in the first powerlifting competition to quite a successful year last year, competing at the Commonwealth Games. How has powerlifting sort of had an effect on you in terms of from starting out, not really knowing, not too much consistency? How has it affected your confidence? How has it sort of, what are the benefits? How have you sort of improved since starting out?
Yeah, so I think, I don't know, getting into it, I've obviously cleaned up my eating quite a bit. So when I first started, I was probably about 92 kilos. It was the heaviest I've ever hit. And so I competed in the 84s over in England. And so I had to clean up my nutrition a bit, which I saw my whole body composition change. And then, my clothes were starting to fit better. I looked slimmer and I was like, oh my God, I'm looking good and I'm feeling good. So not only like physically did my confidence like, improve, but like mentally as well, I was feeling a lot better.
Yeah.
So I think, just cleaning up my eating, cleaning up my training, it really did. And I don't think people realize it until they experience themselves how much it will change you. Yeah. And I was just so much more confident in myself and so much more happier. And then I started to not care what people thought, and I just went on with everyday life. And, like being strong is awesome. Like that's what I just, I train all my clients just to be strong, and it improves their mental well-being so much. So it's, mainly they're probably the 2 biggest things is like just mentally I'm feeling a lot more like, confident and happier. And then physically as well, like my body composition's changed so much. I think I've lost about 15 kilos and I'm dropping to the 72s at the moment. So by the time I get down there, it'll just be a massive change. And, you do so much happier.
Yeah, I think there was a quote by, I think it's Mark Ripperto or something like that, like, or it might be Brett Contreras, I can't remember who it was. But it's like they say strength training is dangerous, but it's a lot more dangerous to be weak than it is to be stronger. And I think everyone or people are a little bit nervous to start getting into powerlifting, and they just think, oh, you're just going to lift crazy heavy weights all the time, and you're just maxing out all the time. Whereas there's a little bit more of a process to it. And when you are stronger, like you said, feeling a little bit more confident, like it's pretty cool that you can pick up, I don't know, a random heavy object and be like, well, yeah, I can do that.
Exactly. You do things that you never thought you'd be able to do, and it's like, holy crap, have I actually done that?
Yeah. Most of it is because I don't know how you went about it, but it's just saying, do you know what, I am gonna stick some more weight on the bar. Because you can do the exercise, but to actually get stronger, you need to keep putting weight on the bar. And I think sometimes, especially with some of the women in the powerlifting club, you're saying, just nudge it up a little bit more, Oh, no, I won't be able to pick it up. And then when they do, it's like a kid's face at Christmas. It's like, oh my God, I've picked that up, I've pressed that, or I've squatted that. Yeah, it is a good feeling, being stronger.
Yeah, definitely. And when you
Uh,
start seeing the changes, that's what makes you feel good. Like,
yeah,
it's like last week, yeah, I was only deadlifting 130 last week, but this week I had 132.5. I mean, it's only 2.5 kilos, but you earn that because you train your ass off.
still heavier.
Yeah.
When people reach a landmark, so a couple of women that are training have surpassed the 100-kilo deadlift. So that's like quite a good landmark. And now they're thinking, right, okay, what else can I get to? What's the next step? And they can keep increasing it. I think people like that once they get into the swing of it. But I think it is a confidence thing. And how they hold themselves around the gym is a little bit more. Because actually, there's more women in my powerlifting club than there are fellas. That's great. I think that's great to see. When they walk in, they say, "Oh, a little bit nervous about going on the platforms." I say, "Get them on, nudge the lads out of the way." Because sometimes some of the women have better technique than fellas.
Yeah, that's the case. Like, probably like 70% of the time, like the women I see in the gym are often like, they've got so much better technique than the lads who just are there ego lifting.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's intimidating for women who've never stepped foot in the gym before.
Yeah.
And I think, but once they get into it and, learn the technique and learn the basics, then, yeah.
I think guys are a little bit more, if I tell them to take weights off the bar and be like, right, okay, so that's a little bit too heavy, form's going a little bit, let's have a look at technique. If they take it as though I've slapped them in the face with a wet fish, not doing it to have a go at their ego, it's just, okay, you need to start getting this right. So you don't yeah. So, did you have any, obviously you said you've got a coach, did you have any influences when it comes to strength training and powerlifting, or have you started gravitating towards looking at some people that influence your training, influence what goals you're going to go after?
Yeah, so probably one of my biggest influences is my coach. Mm-hmm. I mean, even though I knew a bit about powerlifting before working with Jacob, he's just opened the door to this amazing world of powerlifting. Yeah. And, I really do look up to him for that. I do find him really inspirational. Yeah. But one of the girls I really, really look up to is Sherry Miles. Like, okay. I love that girl to pieces. I saw her at the All Englands last year in May. Yeah. And I saw her, I was like, oh my God, she's amazing. Yeah. And yeah, I've just like, been following her ever since. I find her so inspirational, and just, she's like recovering from those injuries and she's getting back in the gym and she just never gives up. And I love that. And yeah. I got the chance to train with her last year, and that was really cool. Like, I went down to London and trained with her, had deadlifts, and it was so good just to, chat with her and just chill out and train together. And so that was really good. But, yeah. I've got, like, lots of people inspire me. It's about what they do and, just, I guess, how hard they work to achieve something. It's not about how many Instagram followers they have or, their lifestyle as such. It's like, what they've been through as to get where they are today. So yeah, like a lot of my friends inspire me. And yeah, but Sherry Miles, you got Isabella as well, and Liz Craven, she's really cool. Yeah. Quite a bit. So
I think people forget that they see the end product on the platform when they're lifting these crazy weights. But like you mentioned about nutrition, there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes. Exactly. And it's taken them quite a long time to build up to that. I mean, Isabella, is she squatting over 200 or something like that? Something crazy. It's taken her a long time to get to there, but people are only seeing what she's doing now.
Exactly. People don't realise it takes a lot of time to get there, and people I find people are so focused on that end goal of wanting to lift a certain amount, but the thing is, you need to put in the hard work to get there. And like, just after my last competition, I was chatting to Jacob, and he's like, look, it's at that point now, Han, where you have to, like, every 2.5 kilos you add onto your PB, you have to earn it. You're not just going to get it. It was really easy to jump PBs in my first year because I was only new. And he's like, now you have to earn that. And a lot of people don't realize that. So yeah, it's just about working so hard that you do get that. And yeah,
I think it's about, I think you sum it up because you can see your face light up when you're talking about powerlifting. It's just being patient and enjoying the process, and being like, and when you do get that 2.5 kilo PB, it's like, yeah, do you know what? I've actually put all the work into do it and enjoying your training. I think if you enjoy it a little bit more, then it doesn't become a chore. I think when anything starts becoming a chore, you're more likely to drop off. If you're enjoying it and just
Exactly.
keep doing it, keep at it, you can work towards that end goal.
Exactly, that's it, and you do have to enjoy it. Like, yeah, and I'm not just starting to realize it now, but there was times last year where I'd finish a comp and I'd go into like some crappy off-season block, which, okay, I lied, it wasn't crappy, but back then I was like, this is so boring, I just want to go back to powerlifting. But
Yeah,
now I'm actually enjoying it. My body thanks me. So it's about enjoying the off-season just as much as you should enjoy a prep. So
it's good to get some different movements in there and try different things.
oh
I know for me, leading up to a competition, I always want the competition to be over. I'm like, oh yeah, I'd really like to do whatever movement, just be like doing loads of low bar because it knackers my shoulders. I'm like, I can't wait to do a high bar squat, just for a couple of weeks.
yeah, exactly.
So the next question, which is going to be quite a big one, is obviously the main topic of this is why women should get involved in strength training and powerlifting and that sort of stuff. Okay, so it's always the tide is sort of changing, if you like, with more women wanting to get into strength training and that sort of stuff. But what are your thoughts on why women should get involved in powerlifting or strength training or strength sports? Just why should women get involved in it?
I feel like there's so many benefits of women being in strength sports, like, you know, not only physically, but mentally as well. Like, I've heard so many stories of females who've gotten into, you know, whether it's powerlifting or like, you know, they're even just doing powerlifting, but not necessarily competing. They're like, there's so many stories I hear like, oh yeah, it's helped me with anxiety, it's helped me through depression and stress and whatever, which is really good to see. And I think you don't really feel those benefits until you sort of start getting into that like, and into training. But just, you know, physically as well, like the transformations you see on Instagram or whatever from people getting into strength training, like, holy crap, that's amazing. And
Yeah,
just being strong, like I just love being strong. I love being able to push my body to, you know, lengths that I didn't think I could.
yeah,
And that's why I think it's important. There's just like, yeah, the psychological benefits and physical benefits as well,
yeah.
is, you know, really important. And as a, like, everyone just needs that balance and needs something to, I guess, manage, like, you know, balance them like mental state and physical state as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It helps with quite a lot of things, and I like to say, I think when women walk into a gym, like you said at the start, sort of, yeah, I did a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And it creates a little bit of structure into your training. And you know, if you're feeling a little bit stronger mentally, you think, yeah, do you know what? Actually, I can do this. I can say to my boss at work to do that. I can sort of, you know, I don't need a little bit. It gives you a little bit. I think it gives you a little bit. You feel a little bit more independent. Um,
Of course.
being stronger.
Yeah, and just applies to so many other aspects in your life, not just in the gym. Like you're just saying, like, you know, especially I can apply it to uni as well. Like, one of my good friends said to me the other day, because I've got exams coming up soon, and she's like, well, you wouldn't spend 4 weeks cramming a powerlifting competition prep, would you? So why would you spend 4 weeks cramming for an exam? And I'm like, yeah, you're right. And so now, like, I've got exams in 8 weeks and I've started doing my revision. I'm like, you can apply it in so many other like, you know, aspects of your life. And yeah, like, you know, like at work and stuff, and just having the mentality, you're just mentally stronger as well.
So I think you just quoted it there that powerlifting can actually help with your exams. So that's it there. Any
Yeah,
students
pretty much.
listening,
Yeah, I'll just
powerlifting
say
helps
that.
with exams.
Yeah.
So to finish off then, what would be your top tip or top piece of advice for any women listening wanting to get involved in strength training or powerlifting?
My advice would be to just do it, but that's so simple. But first of all, hire a coach or hire someone professional that can help you get the basics first. I mean, or, you know, like, I know that can be a bit hard, like financially or whatever, but if you can't do that, join a powerlifting squad at a gym, or join a Facebook group. I mean, I know there's powerlifting groups over in UK, like you got West Riders, and you know, the universities have lots of powerlifting squads as well, and you know, we have it here as well. You got the powerlifting squad. So join a group where you can have that, where someone can help you with the technique, can help you with the programming, and you know, then you meet so many like-minded people who will help you and push you to just, you know, start. And I think that's the biggest thing is starting and getting into it. So I think finding that you know, support network to start off with is a really big one. You know, find someone you trust that you can work with closely to get that step in, and then go from there. And you know, learn the basics first, and then, you know, then once you've learned the basics, look at, and I'd say get on the platform. The platform's fun, but it's process, so enjoy it. I mean, you know, you're not gonna go into the gym and be lifting like super heavy weights straight away. You need to obviously build up to that week by week, and so enjoy the process, trust the process, and have fun. And you know, there's so many like-minded people who want to do the same thing and in the same boat of, I'm too scared to start, I don't want to go into the gym, what if I'm not strong enough? Well, who cares? Like, everyone starts somewhere. And that's the big thing, starting.
It is it's one of the, coming from, you know, just playing rugby and that sort of stuff, obviously you walk out onto a pitch and you need to beat your opposite person, whereas I think you've probably found it as well, that in powerlifting everyone wants to see everyone else do well. You know, even if, you know, someone's lifting heavier, but that's still a PB for you, everyone still wants you to see you lift that weight. In the crowd cheering, you be like, yeah, come on, try and press it or lift it or whatever. It is. I think people buy into powerlifting, just the community side of it. There are people
that's it. And at the end of the day, it is only you are against yourself. And that's what I tell people. I'm like, if you're gonna do it, just do it for you and enjoy it. Don't enter a competition to win. I mean, obviously it's different if you're going to nationals or in, like, you know, worlds or something, it's different. But just to start off with, just enter it for you, because it's you know, about beating you're beating yourself, and then everyone supports you no matter what. Like, I mean, yes, it's a competitive sport, but everyone's just there cheering for you regardless of, you know, what you're lifting. Which I think is amazing. Like, the community in powerlifting is absolutely incredible.
I think people sometimes get it wrong when they enter a competition and be like, right, I wanna go in my first competition, I want to be able to do this, this and this. In my first competition, I think I came stone cold last. I didn't do anything at all, didn't make any waves or anything. But then compared to where I am now, some of my lifts, I'm sort of up there a little bit more. But that's taken X amount of years, X amount of competitions to get up where I want to be.
Yeah, for sure.
So thanks very much for taking the time to chat with me. For those listening, I'll put the Hannah's Instagram on. If you've got any questions, or if you've got any questions for me, then we'll try and answer best we can. So thank you very much for listening, and I will see you next week.
Great. Thanks for having me.